Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing a very tragic event which happened recently to a family vlogger, a very famous one. It is this guy here. He is from the family channel Our Life in Holland. Tech CEO dies at the Zion National Park in Utah. He apparently fell 200 feet tragically to his death, which is very sad. It's a very sad event. Now, this guy is from, as I said, the family channel. He's a dad from the family channel Our Life in Holland. This is him here. He does a number of crazy stunts, such as swimming and obviously climbing and things like that.
Where is he? Are you alive? Get out, Ashton! Get out!
As I said, his channel is Our Life in Holland, and they are a family channel with 146,000 subscribers. So this channel obviously had a very big fan base, and we'll get into why they have a bigger fan base in a little while. But the dad of the channel, that is Justin Bingham, passed away. Justin Douglas Bingham was called back to the presence of our Heavenly Father on October the 5th, 2024. The obituary went on to say, in lieu of flowers, they would ask you to please donate to the kids' college and mission funds, as well as Landon's continuing medical care. Donations can be made at that address there. Now, my problem here is with the fact that asking random strangers on the internet, because there will be lots of random strangers donating to this because they are a family channel, a fairly large family channel with a lot of subscribers, and they do not need the money, right? None of those kids need the money. According to reports, Justin Bingham is a millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. He has more than enough money. Obviously, it's very sad that he's passed away, and I have every sympathy for them as a family, but they don't need the money, and to be asking for donations is a little bit off, in my opinion. It then goes on to say, please click the link below to watch Justin's service via live stream. So the funeral service was actually streamed live on YouTube. And to be fair, it wasn't them, it wasn't the family that did this. It was the funeral director people, whoever, did the service, and they streamed it live, so that's okay for them. It's not for me. I'm not going to show it on here because it's not for me. Now, the reason why that these are more famous and they have a bigger fan base is because Justin Bingham and Our Life with the Hollands channel is related to, in fact, Justin is the brother of the more famous YouTube channel This Is How We Bingham. Now, I've covered that channel and this channel, both channels in fact, in the past on my channel for exploiting their kids. Now, This Is How We Bingham have 1.31 million subscribers. Now, that's a very large channel. They get lots of money and they are very well liked on YouTube. Now, Justin Bingham's brother Brandon, who runs this channel, has taken to his own channel to express his grief about his brother's passing. Of course he has. And we're going to take a quick look at part of that video now. One thing I would have to mention straight off the bat is the editing skills of this video is right on point, making it very dramatic from the outset.
I want to let them know how proud of them I am. They've been so strong, dealing with something most kids will never go through, and no kid should really have to. They've shown power, determination, strength, so many qualities that their dad had.
I find it wholly unbelievable that he's had time to sit down and edit that intro to make it more dramatic. Now, you would do that maybe if you were doing a vlog to make it more dramatic, but in a situation where your brother has actually passed away, it feels very exploitative, shall we say.
As many of you have probably seen, it's kind of captivated the country and the world in some ways. There's been a lot of information out there, as well as a family took to social media to make a family statement, make a post to share with you guys a little bit of the high-level details of what happened on the weekend of October 5th. So many of you already know this, to some of you it might be news, but
Now, one thing I did notice straight off here was the fact that there was very little emotion or anything from the wife, Mindy, right? She doesn't hug him, doesn't put her arm around him, doesn't hold him, doesn't comfort him, just doesn't do anything, just basically sits there with him the whole time.
He was doing a canyoneering trip in Zion National Park, and he was doing a climb. It's not a climb. He's so much more adventurous than any of us. I don't even know what they're called, but it's like a excursion, I guess, where canyoneering, where you go through and you do a series of rappels. You go through potholes, and it's like a 20-hour thing. You have to go part of the way in. You camp overnight. You finish off the next day because there's not enough hours in daylight to get it all done. So it was a really, really big technical thing that he was doing, and it was like one of his bucket list items that he just wanted to tackle someday because it's like the crown jewel of the Zion canyoneering. He'd been doing this birthday trip.
Now, the other thing that I've noticed in this, and it's highly irritating to watch, right, is the amount of jump cuts in whilst watching the video. They do this all the time in their normal everyday vlogs, right? That is their thing. I don't know why they do it. They basically, it's like they think their fans have an attention span of a gnat, right? And it's constantly jumping every 2 seconds. It's really irritating, and I've mentioned that previously on my last video that I did on them. But to do it in this video means that it's being highly edited. Now, why isn't it just a sit-down video and just to talk and express their feelings and their emotions on the subject, instead of editing it to high heaven and making it feel like, you know, it's something you've made a great deal of effort for because you need to get it right for your channel?
Years. In fact, I've been on a couple of them with him 7-8 years ago, and we did some fun stuff, much more beginner friendly than this, but this was the big one. And so,
and also, Brandon, is that merch shirt permanently tapered to your body? Because it feels like you're forever wearing it, and including it in this vlog is a little bit wrong. Inappropriate, perhaps, that you are trying to sell your merch at the same time as talking about your brother's passing.
He'd made it through like 28 of the 29 rappels and was on the last one, descending into the hiking trail to finish the whole thing. And there were just some complications with his device that he was using, and he lost a couple of his friction points on the device and ultimately fell. You guys can find more details online. But he fell despite the rescue efforts of about 50 people, a couple of airmed helicopters, and just a lot of great bystanders, paramedics, everything.
Is there actually any need for this to be told in extreme, excruciating detail, explicit detail? Why does it need to be a whole big story time about every single thing that happened that day? That's not important. What is important is you telling how you are feeling. Well, if that's important for your fans, I'm not too sure, but to tell it in extreme detail like this, it just, again, it feels like just one big story.
They just weren't able to rescue him.
The fall didn't actually take his life.
His final tough guy move, he survived it. Freaking dork. So he's just such a tough guy. Had to show everybody he could do everything, and he showed gravity in that fall. Whose boss? He survived it because of the remote location he was at. Getting from there, though, after surviving that fall, getting from there to an actual operating room was just a series of hikes. 2 choppers, required 50 people to help out. They had to move him up and over boulder walls, and he just ultimately made it to the last chopper. So that's what has happened. I think most of you have seen that probably somewhere on a headline. Then we just wanted to share from our family's perspective what's transpired since. We happen to be, ironically, if you've been here with us for a few years, my dad passed away unexpectedly 3 years ago. Everyone was kind of scattered around the world when that happened, and we were the ones who were here. It's kind of like those first people on the scene. And once again, I don't know what it is, just irony, I guess. We were here while we had family spread around the world. As the news spread out, they each got on planes and hurried back. We went over to my brother's house to be there with his family. If anybody watching doesn't know, my brother is my younger brother. He has a wife and 4 kids. And he loved them more than anything.
Again, absolutely no affection at all from Mindy towards her husband. Is this normal behaviour? I mean, I feel like you would if your partner was in extreme grief like this.
We've been in the same neighborhood for like 16 years. We just keep following them everywhere.
I actually think it's 18 years.
18 years? Oh, before we even had kids. She has a better memory than I do. Yeah, we've been in 3 different cities together, 3 different homes in the same neighborhood, always within a block or less. We have kids around the same ages, and they're good friends. So we've been grateful that we've been able to be close by. Our kids have been able to
grateful.
Be with them, be a distraction in some ways, be a comfort. We have precious, tender memories that'll be burning our memories forever. This isn't necessarily our story to share, but I know it'll be a minute before Lindsay would want to share it from her perspective. But from our perspective, the night that we found out, Lindsay was with her family on her way down to St. George area towards Zion National Park to just get more information. We're kind of getting information slowly. We packed a bag, threw some things in, not knowing what to expect, but decided that we would just head down for whatever could be happening. And we received a call that it may be significantly worse than any of us had imagined. And a good family friend of theirs called us and said to maybe hold back. There might not be a reason to go down there. So we instead went to their home and waited in their driveway. And a few minutes later they returned, having received the news. And we'll never forget, as their kids continued to pile out of the car and run to our arms. There just weren't enough arms to hold them all. There just wasn't enough love in the driveway. We needed Jetty. Mindy described it as the most horrible moment of her life. Just something we'll never forget. Just feeling so inadequate, trying to fill in his shoes, to be there for his family. And then the next day, because we just didn't want anybody to be alone, and I don't think they did either, Mindy picked him up and brought him here to the house. The whole family came here, and we'll never forget as they opened the door in the garage. Each one, this is so hard. I know,
you're doing awesome.
Each one of our kids ran to one of his kids, and they're same ages, same heights, same genders, same everything. And so they just immediately magnetized one to another, and all 4 of them stood in the doorway holding each other.
It was the most beautiful and most terrible moment.
They just were holding each other, crying, comforting, and it felt like it was just on pause. It just felt like it lasted forever. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Something we'll never forget. We appreciate everyone's understanding as we kind of posted just random old videos trying to keep the YouTube algorithm happy so that we didn't stop posting. During that week, we just wanted to tend to family.
And they did, in fact. They put up 5 videos after his brother's passing, and in order to keep the money rolling in and the algorithms going, as he said, which, to be honest with you, I find absolutely incredible that the algorithms were even on his mind after his brothers passed away. Unbelievable. Now, if we look at the total views that he's made in that 5-day period, okay, there are a total of 211,000 views. If we take an approximate $6 per 1,000 views, equals $1,266 that he's made during the time after his brother's passing. If we take this vlog in itself, that received 176,000 views on its own, and it was monetized, by the way. I did check, it was monetized at an average of $6 per 1,000 views. That's 600 and it's over $1,000, right, on its own, just from the passing of his brother. So that's nice, isn't it? Anyway, that was just to update you on this situation. It's very relevant to YouTube and the family vlogger community. It's a very sad event, Justin passing away, upsetting for everybody concerned, and even the fans, you know, of both channels, because both channels fans support each other. So it is very sad. I'm not here to bash anybody, just wanted to report on it, and also run through what I think was a terrible idea of a video that Brandon put out there. So if you have appreciated this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.